At the top is the appropriations changes. They're not all inclusive of every individual line item like this detail, but it's the meat of this budget adjustment. So you get the total appropriation changes of a little over 15 million. You'll notice that the total on here agrees to that. In terms of appropriation changes as it relates to the general fund. The next three are budget adjustment issues, but they don't require appropriations, they require transfers. So that your total upward pressures in the budget adjustment are a little less than 16.4 million on a current budget, which is about $1,075,000,000. And the downward pressures are our solutions, primarily our solutions to the budget adjustment increases noted above. With that said, let me go down through. Is the Office of Information and Innovation. We're proposing about $121,000 for a web content filtering software system that we think is needed. And I would suggest that, because I'm not very technologically savvy for those that you know me, that you have David Tucker from VII testify in regards to that particular proposal. The next item I mentioned to you yesterday came as a surprise to me subsequent to the most recent joint fiscal meeting. Joint fiscal meeting. And that is Public Safety Fire Services Division. They actually have a shortfall that might be about $880,000. They think internally they can cover $280,000 of that, requiring a general fund appropriation of $600,000, and that's to cover anticipated shortfall in receipts. A couple dynamics going on there. One is the fact that the fees haven't been raised for some time because they were generating more fees than expenditures, and they had carry forward to work off. So nobody's going to raise the fees as long as you got carry forward. This will be an FY 2011 issue too. So what happened is the carry forward now has evaporated. We thought that would get us through FY 2010. It isn't. And then of course you have they're a victim also of the economic downturn in the sense that there isn't as much activity, and therefore that has also compounded the problems in terms of receipts. The military is $33,000, and I think Judith Stone could probably do that testimony.
She's on her.
And that's a change in the match rate for the air alert mission that I think is effective in April. It's going to 75-25% from whatever match rate it now is. It's changing, requiring an additional amount of general fund for when that change takes effect, I think in April. The next is, and I know you're going to spend some quality time with AHS, is AHS will have a series of ups and downs related to the global commitment and so forth, that they can go over all those details with you. But irrespective of whether you had increased expenditures in the Medicaid program, or for that matter, a decrease in expenditures, not directly related to caseload, is you would still have to put about $10 million into Medicaid, because it was agreed upon with the blessing of the legislature and the Joint Fiscal Office that at a time when we were in an enhanced federal match period, that we would establish our per member per month cost at a higher level, and that would require state match over and beyond what was in the current appropriation. So it was agreed upon to use $10 million of the Human Services Caseload Reserve for that purpose. The next item is the AHD, SAHS. Sorry. It kind of ticks me off, all the work we do.
Sorry, Jim.
No, that's okay. Is it's just I'm a perfectionist, I hate that. is the $600,000 is to replace the general fund for the legislative COLA budget reduction that wasn't implemented. We thought that in our AABD program that they would get a increase in their SSI. As it turns out, they're not getting an increase, and therefore, where we were going to decrease the state supplement by a like kind amount to achieve the $600,000 of savings, there is no increase, so therefore, short of adjusting our state supplement downward, which would be an actual reduction to those recipients, then we need to add $600,000 to that program. The next is an increase in the caseload for AABD. The next is a $745,000 increase, and I think we've had some interaction with the legislature regarding a problem with our general assistance program. And we think the value of that is an increase of about $745,000. Again, we had made some proposals for reductions to offset that upward pressure in the general assistance budget, and we are not at this time proposing any of those adjustments.
Did you have
And we're not
an increase
proposing-
in that caseload?
Yeah, there's an increase in caseload, and I think, yeah, in GA.
In people?
In people, yes, and
How many do you?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get into it this afternoon.
Yeah, you're gonna get right into it this afternoon.
Sure.
You're gonna have a good time. Is I don't know why anyone run for office. You folks impose misery on your own selves.
Well put.
I mean,
I
truly,
could ask
that-
you the same about why
That's
you have the job you have.
That is starting to increasingly be a question to myself, too. So I share the same concern. In corrections, and I think the number here is about 118 additional out-of-state inmates, but I can't say that with absolute certainty. This is a case increase in caseload for out-of-state beds. The next item is in the treasurer's office. I think I may have been a little confused when we were doing all our employee reductions, retirement incentive, both the employee reductions to achieve the $7.4 million in the rescission and $13.4 million in the original 2010 bill, that we knew we were going to have an increase in the health insurance cost due to the retirees that was unbudgeted at the time that the 2010 budget was crafted, which was the appropriate way to go. And I thought that we were gonna do business as usual, is that, you know, you usually get to your retirement, which retirement includes the contributions to the pension plan, plus the administrative cost to execute the plan. And the largest component of the administrative cost is the actual budgeting of healthcare costs for retired employees. And usually what we do every year is well, it's actually a 2-year retro look back, is we say, okay, these were the costs experienced by the program. This is what the actual, the retirement rate brought in. And we're either plus or minus. We brought in more than we thought or less than we thought. We kind of do a true up and add that or decrease it in factoring in the out year contribution rate.
Next year's contribution.
And I kind of thought that was the avenue we were gonna take, but I guess I was mistaken. But it's probably not a bad thing in the sense that the retirement programs the increase is so dramatic that probably we should do everything we can to help ourselves moving out to the future. This would be a much larger number if it weren't for the health care rate holiday, because the retirees get that too, and the employer pays less. So we're benefiting from that. So that's offset, so that the net difference is $965,000 of general fund. And the logical question would be,